and welcome back to another video on the Wrestling Space and to the Grand Slam edition of AEW Rampage out of 10. The show featured 8 matches, including a golden ticket battle royal to determine the number 1 contender for the AEW World title, a huge title match and a few big grudge bouts as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the show. We kicked off the show with Sting and Darby versus House of Black, what I guess they were now known, God knows what they're now known as, with Malachi Black on. But anyway, Sting and Darby didn't waste any time attacking them as they were making their entrance. The Icon went after Buddy Matthews and Alan Brawl with Brody. Julia Hart then jumped on Sting's back during his scuffle with Buddy. The action moved inside the squared circle where King was dominating Alan. At one point, Brody King set up Sting on the top turnbuckle, but Darby came back and hit an Avalanche Code Red on the House of Black member for a 2 count. The 2 tables were set up at the ringside area as Buddy Matthews was placed on it. Sting went for a splash from the top rope, but King pushed the Hall of Famer. He crashed through one of the tables and hit his head pretty hard on the other. Julia Hart and King then handcuffed Sting. Darby Allin was seen crawling on the entrance ramp and the heels went after him. Allin then climbed one of the structures and hit a coffin drop on Buddy. He went for a coffin splash on Brody, but the latter caught him and applied a choke on the stage. The 2 stars then went through the table. Towards the end of the match, Matthews with a baseball bat and Hart went after Sting. The duo set up a chair, however the lights went out and the Great Muta made his appearance. He teased going after Sting, but turned around and attacked Buddy. He then sprayed the green mist on Matthews. The latter collided with Julia Hart, who nasty went for a table at ringside. Sting then hit the Scorpion Death Drop to pick up the victory. Post-match, Sting and Great Muta embraced each other in the middle of the ring. And yeah, this gets 7 out of 10 from me. Really fun match as we come to know the Sting stuff. And the Great Muta appearing as well was definitely a surprise. But you know, just a feel-good match to start the show. 7 out of 10, good stuff. It was time for Hook and Action Bronson versus 2.0. Hook and Angelo started the match for their teams. Parker hit a big boot on Hook, but the latter responded with a hit toss. He then hit a gut-wrench powerbomb. Matt Menard was tagged and wanted to face action. Bronson took down Maynard with a shoulder tackle and followed that with a splash on the JS members. Hook was tagged in and hit an Elven Light suplex on Menard, but Parker came in and hit a suplex on the FEW champ. He then followed that with a backbreaker and a bait boot for a 2 count. The heels were in control, but Hook managed to escape and made a hot tag to Action Bronson. Towards the end of the match, Bronson took down Menard and Parker with shoulder tackles. The tag was made to Hook and locked in the Red Rum on Angelo Parker. Menard tried to make a save, but Action Bronson stopped him and also applied the Red Rum to pick up the W. And yes, 7 out of 10 from me. Decent match. Hook and Action Bronson getting the win. Good to see Action Bronson in the ring. He was actually quite good, to be fair. We'd like to see more of him, and yeah, Hook getting the win. It was always going to be that way, and did its job fine. 7 out of 10. It's then time for Wardlow and Samoa Joe versus Woods and Nice. Woods and Wardlow started the match. Woods went for a suplex, but the latter responded with 2 belly-to-belly suplex of his own. He then hit a spine buster on Woods before Joe and Nice were tagged in. Nice went for a big move from the top, but Joe dodged him. The Samoan submission machine hit Uranagi and followed up with a muscle buster to pick up the victory. After the match, Nice and Woods blindsided Joe, but Wardlow made a save. He hit clotheslines on the heel and followed up with 2 powerbombs on Sterling. Joe then picked up Sterling and pushed him towards Wardlow, who hit another powerbomb on a helpless star. And yeah, gets 6 out of 10. Decent stuff. Joe and Wardlow just giving them something to do. It wasn't a bad thing to do either. I wonder if it could lead into a match between these two. Hopefully at some point. We'd love to see that. But yeah, for this little segment, I guess it did its job. So 6 out of 10. Nothing remarkable though. It was then time for Jungle Boy versus Ray Phoenix. The match started fast paced. Jungle Boy hit a drop kick to Phoenix to get the early advantage, and Phoenix fought back with a top rope arm drag and followed up with a springboard hook kick. After back and forth between the 2 men, Boy hit a flying forearms and followed up with a lariat. He then hit the Death Valley driver for a 2 count and went to the top rope for a big move, but Phoenix stopped him in his tracks. The latter went for a powerbomb, however Boy hit Hurricane Rana for a 2 count. Towards the end of the match, Phoenix went for the 3 Amigo belt. Perry stopped him before the 3rd and got a 2 count. Phoenix then went for a frog splash and got a 2 count. Ray Phoenix went for the backfire driver, but Jungle Boy rolled him up to steal the victory. Post-match, Christian Cage came out with a mic in hand before Luchasaurus attacked his former partner from behind. The Monster hit a blackout on Jungle Boy as the crowd told to let him conduct his business. Cats and Charisma then wished that Boy didn't return next week before mentioning the 25-year-old mothers and sister. Christian Cage then distracts Luchasaurus to finish off Jungle Boy as the Giant hit a huge chokes them on a hapless baby face. And yeah, this is good stuff. 7 out of 10. Wasn't expecting to see Christian Cage because the rumour, of course, is yeah, he's out of action for quite a long time, so it'll be interesting to see if he's maybe going to be back quicker than that, or we're just going to have a Jungle Boy Luchasaurus program with Christian Cage as manager. We'll see, but yeah, I mean, like, this did its job, continuing that storyline, but Jungle Boy still gets over with a big victory, so 7 out of 10. It was then time for Eddie Kingston versus Sammy Guevara. Before the match could even start, Sammy took the mic and apologised to Eddie, but that turned out to be a ruse, and Guevara said he was sorry for not calling Kingston a fat piece of shit earlier. Kingston got enraged and held Guevara's mouth and dragged him out of the side area. Kingston went for a pile driver on the apron, but Guevara dodged it. On the apron and said the Spanish God hit a snap suplex on his opponent. Guevara went for a top rope move, but Kingston moved out of the way. As Kingston gained some momentum, Tamer lay trips him from the outside. Guevara took advantage with a running knee and counter for a 2 count. Towards the end, Kingston hit a free spinning back fist and followed out with a stretch pun submission to get the victory. However, he didn't realise the move, and the decision was reversed in favour of Sammy Guevara. Kingston lost control and attacked the security team following the decision to reverse the victory. Definitely a weird way. I don't know if it worked, to be honest, to protect both superstars. I'm just not sure about it, to be honest. But yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because it was a decent match, and with everything going on, it definitely did add some intrigue. All the rumours backstage. But yeah, not too sure about the ending, to be quite honest. That was Togul versus Monte for the TDS Championship. Monte was quick out of the blocks and hit a few kick on Cargo's leg. Cargo caught her in an uppercut and followed up with a big boot. Monte sent Cargo outside with a dropkick. She then went for a cross body drop, Cargo threw into the ring and then picked up Jaded for the victory. Post match, Trina turned heel and attacked Monte. She then walked away with Jade Cargo to another woman joining the baddies. And yeah, that was a bit of a surprise twist at the end, but yeah, to be honest, this has to get a 5 out of 10 from me. Just kind of felt out of place in this card, just very quick, just kind of felt like the tokens were in the match, and yeah, I would have liked to see more on this one. So yeah, unfortunately this has to get a 5 out of 10 from me. Really not a great segment. Before it's time for the golden ticket battle royale to determine the number 1 contender. Paige was the first one to enter, but he was attacked by Andrade, Rush, Spectre and the Blade, but the Dark Order made the save. Daivari was the first star eliminated, then Danhausen, Cole Carter and QT Marshall were eliminated. Marshall was soon eliminated by Paige. Jake Hager was eliminated by Best Friends before Brian Cage got the better of Chuck Taylor. Dogs and Castle was almost eliminated, but the boys saved him. Castle then eliminated Cage, who was in turn kicked out by Garcia and Moriarty, and then eliminated Garcia. Matt Hardy eliminated Moriarty. Hardy and then threw out the Butcher before Rush eliminated him in Private Party. The Butcher eliminated Evil Uno and Page got the revenge. Satnam Singh saved Jay Lethal from elimination before the latter eliminated Penta. Towards the end of the match, Rush and Hangman were the only competitors left, and the latter hit a dead eye to pick up the victory on Rampage. Page is getting his match, and yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. A bit of a weird battle royal. Wasn't probably one of the best I've seen, but yeah, I'm just so happy Page is getting his shot because he so deserves it. So yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Great stuff. Page versus Mox is going to be absolute fire, and great to see Page back in the title scene. Time for a lights out match between Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Both men started with a huge brawl. Starks hit a clothesline on the outside and sent Hobbs outside on the steel steps. Hobbs fought back with a neck breaker and threw a table on Starks and attacked his former partner with his chairs. Hobbs was dominating, but Starks sent him crashing through a chair that was set up in the corner. Both hit the low blows on each other before Powerhouse then hit a back body drop on top of the chairs and followed up with a running power slam on the chair for a 2 count. He then sent Starks into the lights on the stage. Starks returned with a spear through a table. He then hit the Rochambeau to pick up the victory. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Good match. Starks getting a win. Whichever was probably the right decision after all out. Levels up at 1 apiece now. I don't know if I have a decider, but yeah, big win for Starks. You really need that, and a really decent match too. So 7 out of 10. And overall, Rampage this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought it was a pretty decent episode of Rampage this week. Lots of great matches on there. Really did feel like a big deal this week. Great matches on there. Some very intriguing results. I would say mostly right, and Jet just continued storyline. So yeah, on the whole, I would say a decent episode of Grand Slam. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, don't talk to comment down below, follow us for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.